If you're an atheist, I'm about to put you in a corner right now because...
Oh no, I'm shaking in my boots. I don't want to go in the corner. Hi, my name is Scarlett, and I'm an atheist and skeptic, and today we're looking at some other short videos. You know, why wade through a long video with the Gish Gallop kind of situation when these videos do their dumb shit in like 30 seconds? We're kicking it off with Off the Curb. Away you go, Curb.
Because I am going to ask you a very hard question, and you will not be able to answer it.
Oh no, whatever will I do if I can't answer a question? Maybe I'll have to go learn something. And lol, Ricky Gervais from 20 years ago. There's your stand-in dummy-dumb atheist, I guess.
I would be a very rich man if I got $1 for every time an atheist said these 3 words to me. Who made God?
I'm getting super dizzy watching this. What is it with the backgrounds? Why? And by the way, I watched a few of his crazy train shorts. Most of them are like this with some dramatic tone and shifting backgrounds. This is, like his aesthetic. And, I kind of think it suits a conspiracy-minded fundy who needs to shift and dodge to make his religion fit into the world. But seriously, why would someone say these 3 words? It's because you're doing a kalam on us. These 3 words will come up when you ask us, where did the universe come from? Everything that begins has to have a cause. And if we say we don't know what that cause is, you'll stick your God in there. So we'll say, well, where did your God come from? No one just says this out of the blue. But as always in these situations, you'll just say that your God is the thing that has always been doing the existing, and you think you're clever. Spoiler, you're not.
But let me flip that question back on you, Mr. Atheist. If you don't believe that God created you, the only other logical conclusion you can draw is that the universe created you. So if you believe that the universe created you, who created the universe?
So yeah, who made the universe? I am not a fan of this language of creation. Scientists sometimes use poetic language to appeal to our imaginations, to get us to visualize the things that they're studying. So I get why someone might talk about the universe creating life. But as far as we know, the universe is not an agent. Sorry, panentheists. And saying that the universe creates us misidentifies the processes at work. We can rightly be said to be a product of the universe, as all things that formed in our universe are. But we were not created by an active decision of the universe. And really, we are a product of our planet, which formed in the universe. To me, this is more pollution from the Genesis story in our collective imaginations. Life formed on this planet, and from there it evolved, and eventually our flabby ape selves came into being and created math and philosophy and the internet, where shit like this exists, along with quality content like capybara and kitty videos. And to ask who created the universe, to me, is the wrong question. I don't think there was an agent that created the universe. I think a proper question is, why did that singularity expand into our universe? What were the mechanisms and conditions? Now, I could be wrong. I'm not even sure how we can pull back the curtain on some cosmic Wizard of Oz out there producing universes. I haven't seen any supernatural agent at all, but I have seen physical forces and natural processes that can allow stuff to form. So it's funny, I do not feel put into a corner at all. Like I said, I watched a few bonkers videos, just for funsies. So let's look at another one.
This man here claimed to be Satan.
I love these Brits taking the piss. Like, what fun. I love the idea of someone going down the high street on market day and screaming that they are Satan. That and a cup of chips would be a great market day in Britain. Does anybody know what town Off the Curb brings his conspiracy board in to preach? Notice all the warnings about never messing with God. Let's just see where he goes with this.
You see these fists here? Look at these fists. Do you think that these fists have ever hit anyone before? What do you think? I wouldn't touch you. No, I wouldn't touch you.
I swear, this is the next part of the video, like 0 on continuity. I have notes.
The man who you saw at the beginning is called Gary, and I believe this is the worst blasphemy I've ever seen.
Which one do you want to talk about?
Jesus is Darren Brown.
He isn't, though, is he? I'll tell you why. If Darren Brown can die and then 3 days later bring himself back from the dead, okay, I'll put my faith in Darren Brown. But only Jesus Christ has done that, and that's the reason why he split time in two. That's why it's worth.
Seems pretty tame for the worst blasphemy, comparing Jesus to Darren Brown. I can definitely think of worse. Anyway, that was a terrible short. No real story, just random clips from his preaching day. You know, like, how about a point there off the curb? Like, you're off your rocker, I guess. That was a bad joke. Bad. I should edit that out. All right, let's move on. We're going to watch some Muslim preacher with the video saying, here's an atheist who fails at disproving religion. Let's see how.
There is no proof that Adam and Eve existed. That is the point. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Do you have a mother and father?
Don't change the subject.
No, it's on the topic. Do you have a mother and father?
Yes, I do, of course.
Okay, take that far back as you can go. Use your scientific atheism to do that.
Yeah.
I love how fundamentalists like to conflate science and atheism. They are different propositions, my dude. You can be religious and also accept the science. But before we go on, I would also like to point out that this setup is misleading. The fact that you have two parents who had two parents and on back throughout time does not necessarily lead you back to Adam and Eve. Keep in mind that people also have siblings who have siblings, so we're not so much tracing, individuals back through their parents as tracing a population back. So like you and your siblings have two parents who also had siblings who had parents who also had siblings, and so you have great aunts and on back. They're a population. Humans didn't evolve from two individuals, but a colony. It would be better to say, take all the people who live now and trace them back, and you get a bunch of people.
Do that. Yeah. Far back as you can go. Where are you going to get to?
We're going to get to the Big Bang and chimpanzees.
No.
I'm sure this guy means well, but he has lost all credibility with me. You go back to the Big Bang and chimpanzees? No. Trace humans back, you get to earlier hominid species, other primates, other life, and so on. Big Bang, go back, even way further back. And this is why it's dumb to think that random people on the street are a good argument for your bullshit.
No.
We're not going to get to
I know, the Big Bang happened way before the chimpanzees.
Yeah, but
And the chimpanzees and humans split about 6 million years ago. So we're not talking about that. I'm talking to you about the first human being.
we're not Adam and Eve. We don't even know what their names are.
Well, okay. Let's say you don't know their names. I'm not even arguing that. Will you go back in time and what happens to the population of man? Increases or decreases?
I just want to pop in here to note that while, of course, on the whole, the population of humans decreases as we go back in time, we shouldn't think that that line is steady. The population has fluctuated up and down through time. Humans have even hit bottlenecks where very few people survive because of some climate event or illness or something like that. So as just one event, for example, the Black Death took out, I think it was a third of Europe, and there were lots of events like that. There are so many conspiracy theorists out there that want to think that the way humans reproduce is some smooth, even way, and it just isn't.
Increases.
If you go back in time.
Yeah, there were very few of them.
They get less and less and less and less. Until you come to, this is using your scientific head, the first human beings who were able to procreate and bring on children, yeah?
Yes.
Let's forget their names. How many were there?
Two, probably. I still...
Bravo! Mwah, chef's kiss. Give this man a MacArthur Fellowship. Again, random person saying there were probably two is meaningless. Nothing proven. Again, I have notes. And again, it wasn't two. There was a group of early hominids. It's funny to me how this is what gets posted to say atheist fails to disprove religion. Fails to do anything. It's not science. It's just a dumb exchange. By the way, it would be really great if you could, offer some evidence for your religion. Not just thinking that maybe there were two individuals who started humans going, that really does nothing. And I think it says something that all these religious people go to oblique science references to demonstrate their divine being. It's kind of like this being doesn't show up to explain itself or something. Speaking of bad arguments, let's see Ben Shapiro's idea of the best argument for God.
What is your favorite argument for God's existence and why?
Oh, the question is his favorite, not the best, like the short advertises. Okay, carry on.
Why?
So my favorite argument for God's existence is that I believe in free will. Okay, the reason that I think this is an argument for God's existence is because if you believe that human beings are essentially just balls of meat wandering around aimlessly in the universe, the kind of Spinoza's stone that thinks that it was moving of its own accord but actually was thrown. If you believe
Ben talks so fast, it can be hard to stop the video at a good place. Like, take a breath, man. There is time to get to your point. All right, let's break some of this down. Free will. Imagining that this even exists, I am curious how this gets us to God. He starts with a poisoning the well style description of humans as meat wandering the universe, which, I mean, we're made of flesh and bone and organs and, all that, which I guess you can reduce to meat. But obviously the point is to make it seem horrifying. Who wants to be, the equivalent of a ribeye steak or something? And we don't so much wander the universe as just this earth, but okay, if you mean we're on a world in the universe, fine. I mean, I don't want to nitpick too much, but he's clearly trying to get a visceral, get it, viscera or guts, get it? Okay, I know that's not funny. Okay, he's just trying to get a visceral reaction from people, which I'm sure he thinks is just facts, but he's really appealing to feelings. And then we get this Spinoza reference. So Ben real smart, I guess. I did find the Spinoza quote, which is about Spinoza's rejection of free will for determinism. We won't read it all, but you can pause or look it up. Or maybe you know more about Spinoza than I do, and I was unaware of this quote. But, I get it. Ben's smart. Ben liked free will. Let's go on.
if you believe that and you don't believe in free will, then there's an internal coherence and logic to it. If you believe that you have the ability to make independent choices, that you can actually supersede your own biological drives and the environment around you to any extent, even to the smallest extent, this means that you believe in something that can't actually be proved by science, but that you are living every single day. And the notion that you have that will, and not only that you have that will, but that will is capable of comprehending the universe around you, that your will is sort of, your ideas, your ability to comprehend the universe is a reflection of a reality, of an objective truth that is out there, that says to me that there is a God, there's a common source that stands behind that objective truth and stands behind the mind that can comprehend that truth.
I bet Ben likes this video because this guy who asked the question looks at him so adoringly. Anywho, so did I just hear a sort of tag argument here? That our free will allows us to supersede our biology and understand the universe? And if we can understand the universe, it is because there is a mind behind the universe? That is more or less the transcendental argument. Okay, so let's recap a little bit more clearly. Ben believes in free will. It must be stated that whether or not humans have free will is still a hot debate in philosophy. And he actually mentions a philosopher who rejected free will. He thinks it is our free will, which he goes on to talk about making choices, which is not quite the same, that this allows us to supersede our biology. Like, what the fuck does that mean? He says if we can supersede our biology in even the smallest amount to understand the universe, then I don't get this, I guess, is my point. I would need more information on this free will that Ben believes in. But the fact that we make choices does not mean we have what philosophers call free will. I, for example, don't believe we have free will, which doesn't mean that I'm not making choices, but my choices are determined by a load of factors linked to my biology, my past choices, my circumstances, and on, like everything happening in the universe leading up to this, whatever, That's me, that's what I think. But back to Ben. He goes on to say our will is capable of understanding the universe, but, free will is completely separate from our perceptions, our reason, our understanding, our memories. That's a completely separate process. Whether or not we have this free will, we can still learn and reason and discover. Then to wrap it up, our ideas and comprehension are a reflection of a reality or an objective truth that is out there? Where? Out where? Is it beyond our universe? Is it in God? Is that what you're implying? Because then he says that leads him to believe there is a God. So having free will, which may or may not exist, mean we can understand the universe, which it doesn't, and our ideas mean there is an objective truth, TM, I guess, and a reality out there, which again, we don't know if that's true, but that all supposedly points to God, which it really doesn't. Sadly, I've watched a lot of Ben Shapiro, please cry for my free time, and he likes to build these supposition dreams. Let's say this, and let's say that. Let's say 30 things, and then my thing makes truth. Some advice, Ben. Use your free will to do better. find a better argument. All right, those are the shorts I have for you today. What did you think of any of them? Of Off the Curb, or the Muslim guy talking about Adam and Eve, or Benny here talking about free will and tag, I suppose? Put them in the comments below and rejoice as Algoritmo blesses you with all kinds of YouTube favors. And if you like what I do, you can buy me a coffee. That link is also in the description below, and I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.